Hey everybody, welcome back live at Drew's House Joppa Afternoon Drive. Hope you're all doing well out there. We got ourselves a music show here in our Newburyport studios today. I love this, and it was one of our favorite guests in the house, a return guest, the great Hayley Reardon out of Gloucester.
The bravest woman that I know doesn't hold a job, answer the phone from a one-bedroom beside the sea. Enough is somehow everything, and the truest place I've ever been is a tiny room inside my chest. And most of the time the doors are locked, but when I make it there I don't get lost. So I held the world and put it back, 'cause what was I to do with all of that? She split in two and burned and red, with the thinking heart of feeling head. And if what I meant to say gets lost, well, let that be the aim and not the cost. 'Cause I've been flipping coins since I was young, thinking every choice was so hard won. So I held the world and put it back, 'cause what was I to do with all of that? She split in two and burned and red, with the thinking heart of feeling head. You can only dance the line so long before the line itself becomes a song and evaporates into the air, as if you were never really there.
Hayley Reardon live at Drew's House Joppa Afternoon Drive. Welcome back.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Sounding great as ever. One of my favorite voices we've had on this show
Thank you, Drew.
after all these years. How you been?
Good. It's good to be back
Things
here.
good? Good? You find the place okay? All
Yes.
came back to you?
Yes, everything is stored in my memory.
There you go.
Eventually, once I pull up, I was like, I know where I am.
There you go. You're a world traveler and performer all over the world. You had been like settling down in Gloucester here for a bit. Have you been homebound for a little while there? Or?
Well, yeah, I've been living in Gloucester for a year.
Yeah.
Living, but I was
Living.
but I was away for about a month the past, like, all of January recording in Spain. But
Naturally,
then now,
okay.
of course, yeah, lucky. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And now I'm back, like, resettling into being home in Gloucester for a period here, and then I'm going to go away again. But I have a new balance where I, like, actually live somewhere.
This was a goal of yours.
It was a big goal, so I feel good about that.
Very good.
Yeah.
These are new songs we're hearing here?
Yeah, this is off the EP I put out this summer. New since I've been here last. Yeah, they are new songs. Yeah.
All right, very exciting stuff. Last time I saw you was you opened for Will Daly in Somerville.
Yeah.
You won a lot of fans that night. I could already tell.
Oh, that was so fun. And I've never played that room, and Will is so awesome. Yeah, that was really fun.
Yeah, the Crystal Ballroom Theater.
Yeah.
That was a fun night. Yes, you were fantastic, as we'd imagine. That was a big crowd. Did you get to meet Will? He's a friend of the show as well.
Yes, I did. Will is so sweet.
He's a good one.
Took good care of me for that, and was really nice to ask me. So, yeah, it was great. It was a whole different scene.
Nice.
I've never played that room.
Yeah, no, it's great. Yeah, he's a fun one. He's actually a very funny man as well.
Yes, very funny.
Yeah.
Yes, he wins like the most fun tour promotion or like show promotion award. Like he, often, like I've done bills with multiple people that were like trying to figure out how to promote it, and he was like, let's do this thing where we call each other on a piece of fruit on Instagram and like pretend to have a conversation. And I was like, well, this is creative. He's so funny.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. I should have realized that was probably Will's idea.
He's super fun. Yeah, it's great.
Well, where do these songs come from? Is this written over many years, or was this you like sat down and said, I want to do an album, this is going to be the theme? How did these songs come about?
Well, this song is on my last EP, the song I just played you, and that came about very organically through, that song I actually wrote when I was living in Berlin, and I knew that I needed to move home to the U.S., to the North Shore, ultimately. I didn't quite know that then. But this was like the song that made me know I needed to go home. So that kind of wrote itself, which is my favorite kind. More recently, the project I was just recording in Spain was not so much that. I was like down to the wire finishing songs before getting on the plane to go make this project. It was kind of like let's book the dates and figure it out. And then I was figuring it out. Yeah. So a little bit of both of what I'm going to share today. But yeah, I made a conscious effort to write in the past 6 months or so, which is, my usual speed is like to just let them crop up when they crop up. But eventually I got to be like, I'm making a project, so you're coming or you're not, but I'm going to make, like to the songs.
The song writes itself thing is a interesting concept. Is that like magic when that happens, or?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's magic, and then I get like, hooked on that.
Yeah.
Think that I can like ride that wave, and I can't predict that. And so when it happens, and it's precious, and I cherish it, but also I have to be a songwriter other times too, kind of.
Yeah.
But yeah, this song was one of those, and that's my favorite part of everything is writing 10 songs to have one that writes themselves,
Yeah. The writing, is it the guitar always near you, or are you one of those people that's like voice notes in the phone? Like, what's the
yeah, I mean, I guess the guitar, I'll come up with ideas without a guitar.
Yeah.
But usually I will never write a lyric idea without a melody, and I won't write a melody idea without a lyric. Like those pieces have to go together in my idea generation, because that's a big, for me, they're very intertwined. Yeah. But the guitar, most of the time I'm writing with the guitar, and the chords are coming together at the same time. But sometimes I've separated that part. Yeah. It's not as vital as the others.
Understood. I saw an interview with Billy Joel yesterday, and he was talking about, he hasn't actually come up with too many originals in recent years, but he says it's always music first for him. Yeah. Yeah, which was interesting. Except for like one time when he said he brought the guys in and he started playing, I think it was Moving Out. And all the Long Island guys in his band were going, "You're a jerk. You stole that. That's in there here in a different song. Like, you completely stole that from whatever." And he's like, "God, I did. So we need a whole nother melody. I like the lyrics. Need a whole nother melody."
And then he wrote to the lyrics.
That was the one time he said I had the lyrics first. But yeah, it was for Moving Out.
Yeah, it's funny how everybody has their that's never been the case for me. Well, it's not that it's been lyrics alone first, but the music alone, to me, it's so intertwined with the lyrics, so it's hard for me to separate pieces. Yeah, no, I understand that. Yeah. Again, Hayley Reardon joining us. Is Gloucester good? You like Gloucester in the wintertime here? Yeah, I love Gloucester. I do too. I do, yeah. It's kind of got a Newburyport feel actually to it. It does. I love Newburyport too. I love my port towns. Well played. Yes, come on, of course. But they're not close together. People like from the South Shore think, oh, they must be like Newburyport and Gloucester right next to each other. Like, not bad by boat, but by by road, not exactly close. Best done by boat. Yes. TripAdvisor. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, although I mean, like coming up here is more of a breeze than going to the city. Like for,
Yeah.
you know, like it's not so bad. At least it's like a straight shoot, but
Yeah.
more or less. But yeah, they're not to be confused.
Is winter a big writing time for you, or do you try to step away from it a little bit? Like what's cold weather Hayley doing when?
I mean, I love winter. I love that sensibility for writing, like this like cozy, like withdrawn winter energy. This winter just kind of crept up on me and is very busy.
Yeah. Hasn't been too bad though, snow-wise.
No, that's true. And I also went to Spain for a month in the middle of it.
Yeah.
So
What is the weather? Where'd you go? What's the weather in Spain?
I went to Barcelona, and it was still like, you know, I wore a jacket some days, but it wasn't
Yeah.
like,
Okay.
you know,
We won't feel too bad
like
for you.
here.
Yeah.
But yeah, pity me. I wore a jacket in Barcelona.
It was a windbreaker.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I really like the energy of winter for writing. I can't say this winter has been I can't say I've done all that much writing just because it's been a kind of more of the energy I've been in this winter of stuff I've had to do has been not very hibernation time.
Yeah.
It's been pretty go. But I love New England in the winter. I do. I would never be a snowbird. I love to be here in the winter.
Okay. Well, so we'll never lose you forever. That's good.
Yeah.
The one thing I always notice, I noticed this when you played live too. You have very like outstanding mic control. Like you'll pull your voice back sometimes, and and it's usually like, you just fill the room perfectly with your guitar. I always notice. How do you learn that? Many years on stage.
Yeah, I think many years on stage, but also many years solo on stage.
Yeah.
Like, I think I feel most comfortable creating the sound and energy and dynamics I want on stage alone, because that's where I've done the most practice.
Which is ridiculous because it's so nerve-wracking.
Yeah, but to me, I think it's like whatever you do the most of is...
I know.
Like, so for me, with some exceptions, like there are certain musical constellations I feel really comfortable in, but for me mostly I feel most comfortable alone.
Yeah.
Even though of course it's more exposed, but it's also you have more kind
Do you remember the first time you put yourself out there and because like you do, I mean I'm that I've done that before. I'm a poor man's player, but it's terrifying. Like I can do 50,000 watts on the radio. I'm not scared of this thing at all.
Right.
It's all good, but like a bar full of 50 people and like make music is terrifying.
It's the playing and singing, or is it like the full body, like here I like?
I think so. I don't know. I just remember a friend of mine. I remember forced me to do it. A musician here. He's like, "Dude, you'll be fine. Just do it. I've seen you do it. You go." And I was like, "All right, I'll do it." And it's just I don't know. Looking at people coming back at you, I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, they're real people, and I have to do both of these things, okay?" And it worked out. But just like the first like 20 seconds, you have to like power through for me, and then trust yourself. You're not used to hearing your voice in rooms. It was all different for me.
That's true, and every room feels different. It sounds different. Yeah, well, I have that too of like the settling in, like no matter what.
Like first song of the night sort of thing.
Yeah, like I still have to like find my footing.
Yeah.
But yeah, more or less. But yeah, I do remember the first time, and it was terrifying. Like this was not a like natural. That was a part of everything that I grew into.
I don't think it's natural for anybody.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true, but I mean, like, I didn't crave, like, being in front of, like, I loved writing, and that was my entry point.
Yeah.
But I wasn't, like, I have friends that were, like, when I was 5, I was, like, standing on on my parents' hearth with a microphone putting on a show. And I didn't have that, like, craving to be in, like, performing. But now it feels like such a safe space for me, so I always reference that when I'm terrified of things. I'm like, well, remember when performing was, like... Yeah, that I did grow into, like, a real sense of home there.
That's an incredible thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they say, like, public speaking in general is, like, the number one.
Yeah, next to death.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild.
I know. Never mind guitar and having to sing. It's just, I don't know. It's obviously, to grow into that is just, I think, a very special thing. I liked it eventually. It was fun, but it's like just those, I'll never forget those first 20 seconds of being like, all right, the voice sounds okay, guitar, hands are moving, okay.
Yeah, you just like
carry on.
Your body. Yeah.
That's good to know. People get nervous though. Like first song of the night, you walk on stage, you take in the audience probably. What kind of room is it? Like you probably get some sort of feel that's different than maybe the last show or whatever.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. You to me, like I'm very sensitive to that, to like dynamics and people in a room, and yeah, no, it's always completely different. So there is like you have to like recalibrate. Yeah. Always like a different. Yeah, I mean, it's an interplay always. It's never like, here's my show and it's static. Like, you are interacting with the room and the environment and the energy there. So
I've had people say, I would rather play in front of thousands of people than do this show. It's like it's something about just you and me. It's weird playing for a couple people.
I get that. Yeah, when it's like a one-on-one, it just play. I mean, to me, not this, but like, if we were just in a living room and you're like, play me a song, it is like more nerve-wracking than being. There's something else distancing about like the format of being on a stage, and this is a concert, and all
right, good. Now that we got all our scared moments out, I've told you everything I fear on stage. Let's do it. There you go. I'll never forget those moments. It's probably good for you, putting yourself in uncomfortable situations too. I think that's probably good.
So they say.
Yeah. Who is this they? Who says this? Hayley Reardon joining us out of Gloucester. Great musician, great songwriter. What are you thinking next? Do you want to intro it or?
Yeah, I think you said Gloucester. I'm going to play a song that was inspired by me moving to Gloucester. Oh. I was living abroad and I knew I needed to go home to America, but I wasn't necessarily trying to go back to my parents' house, to my hometown. Yep. And a friend sent me a Zillow link to a little winter rental in East Gloucester that was only affordable because it was winter. And like a little cottage tucked behind someone's house, and I was like, I'm gonna go there. I don't know what else is gonna happen, but I'm gonna go there because it was only available for like 5 months until summer, and so I went, and it turned out to be exactly what I needed, and then I wound up staying. But I wrote this song during that time about how being in that town and with that community kind of grounded me and reset me after a very kind of time. So it's called either Fishing Town or Bone Dance. I don't know the name yet. It's one of those two.
Hayley Reardon live at Drew's house, Joppa Afternoon Drive.
She's standing in the door frame, apron the color of the shingle. She can't recall the song's name, so she sings me just a little. She's been working on a painting. The tourists always want the same thing. Says, anyways, enjoy your walk, dear. It's good to have you back around here. Turn me around, fishing time, fishing time. Up the road, past the pond, the waves are beating on, crashing and laughing again. Saying so much for your big plans. Hell, this life's but a bone dance with no place for us. She's selling used clothes, dressing strangers for a funeral. She says this island is a tightrope. If I were you, I'd take the back roads. There's a wind up from the northeast. Everybody knows what that means. Oh, the boats will sure be in soon. We'll keep the coffee hot long past noon. Turn me around, fishing time, fishing time. Up the road, past the pond, the waves are beating on, crashing and laughing again. Saying so much for your big plans. Hell, this life's but a bone dance
Hayley Reardon, live at Drew's house, Joppa Afternoon Drive. Well done.
Thank you.
Very nice, very nice. The one of two titles for that song. Where you can
Yes, I'm still undecided. It's going to be on my new project, but I don't know which name yet.
Do you get to do you bounce this off people, or are you you like to be in sole control of these things?
Well, I do both. I bounce it off a million people, and then I do what I want.
Ultimately, it's you.
But it just takes me a long time to, which is then very confusing because I have all these opinions. But I have a Patreon, and this subscription.
Yeah.
And we do a Zoom concert. We do like a Zoom gathering every month. Me and my small but mighty community on Patreon, and I bounce things like this off them, so it's an ongoing debate. They're like, which one is it? Sorry, they're not angry. They're very sweet. But which one is it? Bone dance or fishing tone? Yeah. So I don't know yet, but
I've noticed you put that out there a lot. Do you encourage people to go to the Patreon thing for?
Well, yeah. If it's something that's of interest to them, it's a certain thing. Like it's kind of my inner circle, and I share new music and works in progress, and it's more of a process oriented offering than other stuff that's online of mine, if that's of interest to people, then yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Do you use that term small but mighty? It's funny, I use that about this crew all the time.
There we go.
I wonder,
it's the best kind of crew.
I know, I was trying to think if I wonder where, because I think I remember the first person I ever heard say that, and I loved it. I was like, I'm stealing that for, and there was a different radio show at the time, but I'm going to steal it for our small but mighty crew.
Small but mighty,
I remember, you know what it was? I know exactly what it was. This is so lame. A Bruce Springsteen show. Yeah. And he was doing the Seeger Sessions band, which was not, there was a lot of people at the time that were like, let me know when he's ready to rock again, the E Street Band. But this was like a folky kind of thing. I loved it. It was one of the best shows I ever went to. I went to Mansfield. Pretty good crowd in Mansfield, but I guess as you went across the country, the crowds were not as, it was a lot of that, let me know when he's going to play Born to Run again, that sort of thing. And he just wasn't, it's not what he was feeling at the time. Indianapolis, they had a record low turnout for a Bruce Springsteen show. It was 5,000 people in an amphitheater of 20,000. Wow. Can you imagine 5,000 people going over to see Bruce Springsteen these days? Yeah. Crazy, right? Wow. So small, but he kind of notoriously, if it's a small, if anything is underwhelming, he kind of tries to go overboard and put on a better show. It's something, it's just, I don't know, I guess maybe every artist has a little bit of that. 5,000 people come out and you put on this epic show, and he yelled out at right at the beginning, goes, we are small, but we are mighty. And I was like, that is the coolest rock star thing, to just embrace the small crowd and be like, we're going to go hard. Yeah.
Yes. Wow, that's like an image in 25,000 seats, I know. 5,000 people.
Crazy,
small
right?
But mighty. It's the
small
best
but
way.
Mighty. I guess, yeah. It was, I don't know, it always stuck with me. I was in high school, I think, when that tour was going on, so that tells you how long I remember that from.
Small but mighty.
Small but mighty. Small but mighty.
I don't know where I learned it, but I love that. Small but mighty.
I know. I didn't know if I stole it from you. I was trying to think. I was like, where did I get that from again? And I just dug it up. So our small but mighty crew, Maeve Power producing, Sarah Hayden the boss, Ryan Rothberg is out there, Maya Gassman, thank you all. Again, I do all the easy work as they, make us look good, make me look good. You don't need any help with that. Again, Hayley Reardon, our guest in the house today, playing some new songs for us. First time in a year, I think we decided, right?
Yeah, I think we're saying a year. I don't remember exactly.
Saying a year.
But definitely no more than a year, right around a year.
I've seen you in between. I saw you not only at the Will Dailey thing that you opened up for, that great show. When was that, holidays?
Yeah, that was right before Christmas. That was December, mid-December.
Good job, because I told you before the show, I have no concept of time these days. It's funny. I've lost complete. And then where else? I saw you, speaking of Gloucester, I saw you at the opening of The Cut, right?
Yes.
We had a great time. I think everybody, I had a small crew that night. Everybody I introduced you to was like, she's lovely. You're going to go see her.
That's nice.
I know. You make a good impression on people in person, so.
Oh, well, that was fun.
It'd be weird if I was like, they all said they didn't like you.
Everyone was like, she sucks.
What is her problem?
That?
Yeah, but no, that was kind of a fun crew that night. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, me too. It's exciting. It's exciting times in Gloucester.
I know.
To have the locals all there and then people from the music scene.
Have you been back there?
Yeah, I have. Well, my friend Liam is booking the local stuff there.
Oh.
And
good job, Liam.
I know. So yeah, I've been for a listening room series night that he's done there.
Oh, nice.
I haven't been to a big a full show there yet, like a ticketed show there yet because I've been away. But I'm thinking of going this Thursday to see Sunny War.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I'm pumped. There's like national acts coming from Gloucester at this place. It's awesome.
It is cool. It's such a cool place. I feel like there's a good need for that. What's Liam's last name? You want to drop it?
Liam Murphy.
Okay.
Liam Murphy, yeah.
Well, go help Liam with any booking stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know him. I usually know a lot of those guys, but...
Yeah, we're going to do actually, I have a tour coming up with some friends from Spain that are coming, my beloved friends from Spain. And one of the shows we're going to do is Liam's, is this listening room series there on the 8th. So we're going to play the cut.
Nice.
It's like short, 25-minute sets. And it's a cool little local thing. Yes.
I like it when new live music rooms open up.
Me too.
Too many closed during COVID and...
Yeah, we gotta replenish.
It feels good.
Yeah, it's exciting. So it was good to see you there and good to have. That was an exciting opening. I feel like it was good energy.
Yeah, those are always good. You know what happened to me that night? Funny, we went outside. It was kind of crowded, right? So we were hungry, and we went down the street to get dinner at one of the other places that I was more familiar with. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking, like, quiet night. Everybody's at the cut, so like there's 4 people at this bar. There's a couple to my left. I'm looking at this guy and I'm like, who is he? I can't picture it, can't figure it out. It was John Farrell, the former Red Sox manager, like from the Won a World Series in 2013.
Really?
I was staring at him. I was like, is he a politician? Like, why do I know him? Did I work with him? And then I go, it's the former Red Sox manager, John Farrell.
Wow.
Who lives in Gloucester.
Oh, I was going to say, does he live there? Suddenly, Gloucester has all these, like, sleeper,
They've
people.
done, like, the local Gloucester paper did a story on him. Go search it. It's fascinating. So he won a World Series.
Okay.
Got fired from a couple of jobs. It happens in baseball. And then left it all behind. He literally wanted to be a lobster fisherman, and he takes the boat out.
No way.
And his girlfriend, who was in the media business, left her job, and she, like, brings the truck around town and, like, sells the lobsters.
Oh my gosh, he's my hero.
Fascinating.
I have to go read this. My cousin, at Christmas, my cousin was like, I'm thinking of quitting everything and becoming a lobster man person. She was like, no, I want to be a lobster man. I was like, okay.
Hard work, I think.
But yes, I got to send this to her.
Yeah.
Wow, that's inspiring.
It is.
I feel like Gloucester has that effect on people. Like,
I think so,
It's like you go there and you're like, I just want like a local, like, small town life. Like, that's what it had to me. That's what that song's about. It says, so much for your big plans, this life's but a bone dance with no place for idle hands. Like this, like grounded energy of the place is like, that's a beautiful story.
There
I gotta look it up.
Yeah, go. I'm not spilling any beans there because
it's in the paper.
I would keep it private if I didn't read it in a newspaper myself. But he was very nice. I talked to him for a few minutes and very down to earth, and
What a big night that was in Gloucester.
It was a weird night. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a lot happening.
Yep. Anyway, but I hope the cut does well. And go see your show. Are you selling their tickets on sale yet for that?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. That's going to be later this week, and we have a bunch of other local shows too.
Yeah. What do you have coming up?
Well, with this group of my friends from Spain, which one of them is an amazing Catalan singer-songwriter who she's one of my favorite voices, and these are her first ever shows in the U.S.
Oh, wow.
And she's very established in Spain. She sings in Catalan, but she's never toured in America, so it's an honor for me. So we're doing co-bill all the shows with Pau Figueres and Arnau Figueres, who are amazing musicians, also from Barcelona, backing us both up. So we're gonna play in New York City on the 29th of February. We're gonna play in Connecticut on March 1st, Northampton on March 2nd, and then we're around here. We're gonna do Portsmouth at the Music Hall Lounge on the 8th.
Yep.
On the 9th of March. We're going to play Club Passim on the 10th of March in Cambridge. And then this event at the Cut is on the 8th.
Nice. Very cool. I was just at Passim the other night. I saw Ryan Montbleu.
Oh, nice.
There, who's one of our favorites.
Yeah.
Friend of the show, too. He's outstanding. We had a cool moment that night because it was like right after the Grammys.
Yeah.
And Tracy Chapman had her big moment with.
That was beautiful.
How cool is she?
That was, I know. I think the whole country was like, it's just so beautiful.
I was thinking like that. That's somebody actually said to me, it was like, country feels reunited by that moment, doesn't it? And then I'm thinking of some of the old songs Tracy Chapman used to write. I think you might be a little surprised about some of the stuff she writes.
Yeah,
about.
I know.
She was edgy. Like, I loved her, but she tackled hard issues too, and oh God, I'm such a big fan of hers. I wish I could see her more in my adult life, but She was great, but Ryan has a cover of Fast Car that is very popular.
I know his cover of this song.
It's cool, right?
Yes. Is it with Tall Heights?
It is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Nice job out of you.
Yeah.
Good
it's a beautiful cover. I love that version.
But he told me on this show that since the Luke Combs version had come out, which he was like, it's fine, but I kind of feel like it's. I forget how he phrased it, but he said, I subconsciously find myself not playing it anymore. And it's like, just because it feels like it's kind of his right now. And like, obviously, if it all goes back to Tracy, it's all good. But it wasn't a conscious decision, but I found myself not playing it anymore. Yeah. And at Piscine that night, a room that Tracy played in many times, right after the Grammys, people kept yelling for it. And he goes, all right, we're going to do it.
Bring it back.
Yeah, so it was nice to see him do that, but good little concert moment there. But a good dig on Tall Heights. I forgot about that myself. Very good. What are you listening to these days?
Oh my gosh.
You're like Tracy Chapman.
Oh my god, honestly, always. There's this song, I don't even remember what record it's on, but there's this song of hers that's like, that I've been recently going back to, that's, all that you have is your soul. But my mama told me, but she said you learn the hard way. It's called All You Have Is Your Soul.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, I don't know.
God, I don't remember that one. I'm sure I will.
It's all drummed it back up in me. I love that song.
Yeah. Who else? Any new artists or anything? Or
oh my god, my brain is like empty. What am I listening to? Oh, actually, this is not new. This is another like circling back. But when I was in Barcelona last month, I went back deep into this album that I haven't listened to in years. I think it came out in 2003, but the Kathleen Edwards record, Failure. Do you know this record?
I don't know.
Okay, well, my uncle and my dad were always really big Kathleen Edwards fans, and I hadn't listened to her in a long time. She put out a newer record a few years ago, but I hadn't listened to this record in a long time, and I just played it over and over and over again while I was in Spain. Well, we were also recording, so maybe that was I don't know, it was in my during that time, but
subconscious inspiration.
Maybe. Yes, things just come back at different times and hit different at different times.
Yeah.
So that one's been in my orbit.
That's cool. Before we do one more, is there? I imagine you don't go out of your way to be critical, but is there anything in the music industry that bothers you these days, like from like a
oh god, in the whole music industry?
Well, I was think of it in this regard. I was listening to like one of those old like 80s rock bands was on stage the other night and like brought up a Taylor Swift fan, and like some of the crowd started like booing, which is just weird. And he goes, no, we're not going to take any of that. Like pop stars that play their live music and write their own songs, like we are all for that whole new generation. And like it was a cool, forget the band, that's a terrible job. I mean, who was the band? 80s rock band. It'll come to me.
Because people were booing just because of they were playing a Taylor Swift song, or they mentioned Taylor Swift.
He mentioned Taylor Swift. He was like, we got a big Taylor Swift fan up here wearing our shirt, and like they kind of booed the Taylor Swift reference, which is weird. Like I was in the Key West for the Super Bowl, and every time she came on, they booed. I was like, this is the weirdest thing.
Yeah. Like, everyone just needs to chill out about it.
I know.
Like let the girl do what she's doing.
I understand it's a little bit of overload, but that's not her fault, It's come on. But yes, but the guy put a quick squash to it, and then brought cheers from the crowd, which I thought was nice. But it did get me thinking, like, there are so many bands and musicians that are kind of, doing it differently, whether it be the fake sound through the microphone or all that stuff. Is there anything like that just drives? There's a style of music you just won't listen to?
No, I don't.
Such a long question, and she went with no.
No, it's not. No. I mean, there's plenty of things that I actually, in this sense, it's not that I'm like hypercritical, but I have a lot of thoughts. but it's not like a genre or a like whatever way of expressing. Like it's not like some weird like old, like chip on my shoulder about like. No, whatever. I have nothing against any type of music or way of making music or whatever. But I think there's a growing distinction between like making music and making sort of like content or like filtering
TikTok
it through
videos or something.
Yeah. And that we've started to confuse artistry for like just like like consistent aesthetically like aligned output like we're kind of like, so I have not a problem with, but I try and keep like a lot of discernment for like what feels like artistry to me and what feels like just kind of plugging into a formula, and then me too, like not to get stuck into not to get too pulled into those lines have become blurred, and I think it's important, like, for us to.
I got such a
Keep our eyes open.
I got such a good answer out of that. I'm happy.
Okay.
It was worth my 20-minute question. Hayley Reardon joining us live at Drew's House Joppa Afternoon Drive. You got another one for us over there?
Yes. I'm gonna play this song.
I'm going to play this song.
This song, you don't know it. Well, it's not new, but I want to play it.
All right. Hayley Reardon live at Drew's House. Take it away.
Dreamed that you were blind and I went walking, looking for the light, but then I lost it, trying to bring the right thing home to you. And I see now that nothing is a waste until it runs out. I built myself a castle just to climb down and rifle through the fragments of my youth. And I've got everything I've ever felt lined up in pretty little bottles, one way in and one way out. My love is gonna be a while till I know who I am again after you. After you. So I wake here, floating on a cloud above the last year, and I can see the moon now as the fall clears. The stars were burning, we just looked away. And I'm grieving 100 little lives for every season. 'Cause you have parts of me that I don't need. Although I tried, I could not fight the change. And I've got everything I've ever felt lined up in pretty little bottles, one way in and one way out. My love is gonna be a while till I know who I am again. Oh, and nothing much has changed except some blinding revelations. I am holding out my hands. A fickle heart requires patience, I know. And I'm on my way again after you. After you.
Hayley Reardon live at Drew's House Joppa Afternoon Drive. Fantastic. You sound great as always.
Thank you.
The one thing, you have that like unique ability to like, you never mistake the lyrics, which I love.
Oh, well, sometimes.
Sometimes, okay.
Sometimes. But yeah, the weird thing is when I've written the song, I'm pretty good about that. Like they pretty much stick with me.
Yeah. No, not like forgetting them. Like I mean, like you when you're listening to them, like you never.
Oh, you never.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know how like
Oh, that's good.
they joke about like Bob Dylan and like, you know, sometimes.
You
oh,
remember?
Do I? No,
That's
well,
what you
I don't.
mean.
I'm not saying I remember the whole song. I remembered that one, but you never miss it. You know, like you never miss it in the music or like
Oh, like that, like you comprehend every
yes,
word.
you get every word, which is
Oh.
like that's not always the case.
I think that's because I toured so much in Europe, and not in like not non-English speaking. Like like the past few years, like I did so much touring in Germany, and I think that subconsciously I would, because my music to me is so, the lyrics are such a huge part of it.
Yeah.
That subconsciously I started to enunciate more. I think
Maybe.
that was like almost.
It's not in like a forced way though. It's like in a beautiful way. I was thinking about that because that room that you played with Will Daly. It's just the last time I've seen you. That's why I keep referencing it. But that was like kind of like I think you said during the holidays. It was definitely some people meeting friends there that they hadn't seen in a while.
Yeah.
Holiday gathering. It was kind of a party crowd, and like there were certain moments where there was some like chatter, and then you were immediately able to like kind of silence the crowd in like a good way, just because everybody wanted to listen. And I always think like that must be a very rewarding moment for an artist to make the crowd go, shh.
Yeah, it is.
You know.
It's true. That moment, yeah, it is. And there is like a critical mass that you can sort of like turn a room. If you get enough people's attention, then it like reverberates. And honestly, I think part of that is also just because like the setup of being solo.
Yeah.
Like you would think that when you're louder, people will quiet down. But it's almost like if you get up and do something very delicate.
Yeah.
People are like quiet, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's great. I'm glad that you don't miss a word. That's what I want. I mean, I want you to hear the words are pretty integral to the thing, you know? So
I mean, even so many people like Bob Dylan's one of my favorites, but there are certain songs of his that you have to go back and look them up. Like, what was he saying there? He did it in, and Bruce got, especially young Springsteen, who we talked about earlier, like he had a lot of complaints about that for the low voice and like the whatever that is.
Yes, that's true. Well, that's great. That's great feedback. I'm really glad because that's important to me that the lyrics aren't lost. So.
Well, then I'm glad I said it then.
Thank you. I feel good.
Hayley Reardon joining us live at Drew's House, Joppa Afternoon Drive. Final moments here. So what's you got the shows on tap. You want to give any social media where people can find you? I know you're pretty good about that, I think.
Yeah, social media. You can find me on Instagram for sure. TikTok every 3 months. Instagram mostly. My email list is the best place. You can sign up on my website. But Instagram, I'm the most active, and Facebook. But mostly email is the best. Instagram. I'm on all those streaming places. And yeah.
You get a lot of, it's kind of like a very personal way to invite fans to your shows, right? Through the email list?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes. That's my most sort of like direct, like inner circle. So my email list is the best place to be. And then, we're connected, even if like we put so much stock in these or so much faith in these apps and things to connect us to our people. But email is the best. And I have these shows coming up with my amazing singer friend Judith Netterman from Spain. And we'll be around this part of the woods on the 9th and 10th of March. So
I wanted to, one last thing. I meant to ask you this because I remember seeing it after you were on the show, because I remember going back and like looking through some of your stuff, and I remember you posted on like Instagram. What was the place for did you play for like Royalty on the Water somewhere? Like some gorgeous, where the heck was that?
Well,
you know what I'm talking about?
There was Royalty and there was Water, but I think they're separate. You mean the one in the Alps?
Yes.
Where I'm floating on a boat? I'm like playing
I thought
on
you were
a
on
boat.
like a lawn. Was there like a lawn?
You're right. That was a different thing. Yeah, I've had a lot of weird things. That was on Lake Como in Italy.
Oh, okay.
At this place called the Villa Erba, which is like a...
It was beautiful.
It was gorgeous.
Yeah.
That was a very unique thing. I got invited to perform at this festival that's curated by this pianist, composer, an Italian composer from Como, which like Lake Como is all... There's so many tourists there. This guy's actually from there.
Yeah.
He curates this festival, various places around Lake Como, like really intimate concerts that are interacting with nature. That's his whole premise, is that like you put the concert in of course this was at the Villa Erba, but we were right on the lake, and it was a sunrise concert. So the gig was at 6:30 in the morning.
Wow.
And people came out at 6. I was like, who's going to come to this gig? So this guy calls me, invites me to come to Lake Como for 3 days in the middle of the summer. And he says, and your gig is at 6:30 in the morning. And I was like, this is interesting. And that's what that was.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I remember it catch my eye. I was like, I wish I saw this before I interviewed. This is the most amazing terrain I've ever seen.
It was amazing. Yeah, and
Yeah.
with the sun coming up over the performance, it was like a dream, really.
Yeah, probably added to it. It's did you ever like say these things during your shows, like around here, and like the Gloucester crowd is like, I'm sorry, you did what? you were called by a man to play 3 days in like the
Yeah, just get out of here. No, usually not. No, usually not. And I don't know. That was very, very unexpected and amazing.
Wow.
It was a dream.
It is cool. All right, well, go check out Hayley Reardon. She's awesome, as you can tell from just this. But I've also seen her out of the studio, and I can say it translates there too. She's fantastic, and honestly, one of my favorites here that has come through the studio. So we love having you here. Do you want to play us out with something?
Yes,
Do you have something?
I'm going to play another song. Speaking of dream moments.
Speaking of dreams. Thanks again to our crew, Maeve, Sarah, Maya, Ryan. We appreciate you guys so much. This is our first day back here after I was away for a little bit, so they've been scurrying enough for me. I appreciate all the schedule work and all that stuff. Thank you guys. My small but mighty team here in Newburyport. All right, Hayley Reardon, what do you got?
Thank you so much, Drew. Thank you for having me.
All right.
I'm going to leave you with this song off my new project. This is called Barcelona.
All right. See you next time, everybody.
I sat in the corner, kept to myself. I think the bar staff felt sorry for me, 'cause they brought me a beer and some pieces of bread, and then after a while left me be. I was thinking about how you laugh when you say, what the bank doesn't know is I could die any day. And it took me a while, but it was you who taught me that's just the truth for anybody. Your dad's sunroof was down as we drove through the town beneath the mountain he named you after. And then your beautiful friend saw a heart she could mend, and for a moment the night filled with laughter. And the moon hangs low over Barcelona and paves a path across the wide dark sea, like a joker, like a dance, like a song that holds you, and I still can't tell if it's a dream. Underground on the train, oh, it's hard to explain. I had the feeling that something was wrong, and a stranger could see, so she waited with me until we both knew the danger was gone. Beneath the cypress and palms, oh, we walked arm in arm. You won't find this place on the map. You rolled your cigarette without fear or regret. I just hope I can find my way back. And the moon hangs low over Barcelona and paves a path across the wide dark sea, like a joke, like a dance, like a song that holds you, and I still can't tell if it's a dream. No, I still can't tell if it's a dream.